Hi, I'm Jordan the Nerd of Gold, and today is day 23 out of 52 of me trying to answer at least 52 questions about DC Comics as I count down to my birthday. Help me get to 1,000 followers before that point. And yeah, I'm going to answer this question right here about which Batman cartoon is the best follow-up if you're trying to get into DC and be introduced to Batman after watching James Gunn's Superman. And there is basically one answer for this, and I'm going to give a couple other recommendations after that, but there's only one real answer to that, and that is the 1990 series Batman the Animated Series by Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, and a bunch of other fantastic writers and artists. That is the Batman show. There is nothing better to recommend if you want to try to get into Batman. It is such an excellent show. It distills Batman down to his core essence. All his villains are iconic, as they should be. There's a bunch of great episodes. I would just recommend, if you want to get into this, just Google like the top 10 or top 20 episodes of Batman the Animated Series. You're going to get a dozen different lists, and none of them are going to be wrong. They are all good episodes, basically banger after banger after banger. There's a reason that show is so well remembered, and that is the show I would recommend that you get into. And from there, you can follow the entire DCAU, which is the animated universe that spun out of that one show, because you get Superman, then you get the New Adventures of Batman and Superman, Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock, the Zeta Project, Batman Beyond. Those are all great shows you can watch, and I would recommend going through the entire library on that front if you have the time and interest. But if you're just interested in Batman more specifically, after that, if you've watched a handful of episodes or watched the entire Batman the Animated Series, what I would recommend next is reading or watching Batman the Brave and the Bold. Batman the Brave and Bold is a much more Silver Age inspired Batman, and it's a series that directly inspired Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin run, and we know Grant Morrison's Batman run is going to be inspiring James Gunn's DC run. So if that is more directly what you want to think, what is infecting James Gunn's outlook on Batman as a whole, I would say Batman the Brave and the Bold is probably a big one. But I would put it probably second, right after Batman the Animated Series. But it's kind of probably going to be neck and neck, mostly because the Batman the Animated Series is iconic, and I'm sure James has watched it plenty of times. But we can't ignore the influence Batman the Brave and the Bold had on Grant Morrison, and we know Grant Morrison is a major inspirational figure for James Gunn's view on the DC universe as a whole. And then after that, if you're just looking for more Batman, I would recommend the 2004 The Batman, which is basically a more fight-focused, a little more kid-focused Batman version of Batman the Animated Series that came out after the Justice League stuff was done on Kids WB. That's a very fun show. I think it's got some great fight sequences in there, and yeah, I would say that's my third favorite Batman show, or maybe second. I actually did watch more of that one than Batman the Brave and the Bold, and sometimes Batman the Brave and the Bold can be a little much for me, but it depends on your taste. There's nothing wrong with which one of these is your favorite. Just find out which one it is. But yeah, I'm going to rank it as Batman the Animated Series, Brave and the Bold, and then The Batman from 2004 as the shows you can go through and watch. And like I said, I would recommend just looking for a list of the best episodes of each of those series, so that way you can get a good sampling of what the wide variety of Batman stories you can have.